Good. Okay, we're going to call to order the July 17th, 2025 North Putnam School Board meeting. Can we have a roll call? We have 5 board members present, 2 absent, and let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to actually start our meeting a little bit different this time. It's been a really difficult month in the North Putnam family. We would like to start our meeting at this time with a moment of silence for Candace Wireman, who was taken from us way too soon. She has a beautiful family, 3 wonderful kids who've been a part of our school district, and it's been a really tragic time, difficult. And so, again, ask for continued thoughts and prayers, and I'd like to have a moment of silence at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. LeMay. Next, we have the approval of the agenda. Do we have any comments on that, or can I get a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Joni with the motion, second by Nathan. All in favor? 5. Do we have any signed up for public comments? No. So we move on to the item D, consent agenda.
It's a pretty light one this month. I do want to recognize that Jess, who's here, has recommended hiring of Amy Hutchinson for a special ed position. I know how hard she has worked to fill that position and appreciate that effort and leadership. I do recommend approval of the consent agenda.
Any comments, questions? Have a motion?
So moved.
Nathan with the motion.
I'll second.
Second by Zach. All in favor? 5. Next, we'll move on to approval of assistant superintendent's contracted days.
Yeah, so this does a couple things. It increases Rodney's days from 240 to 260, so a year-round employee. His daily rate really stays almost identical to what it is now. Can you help me do the math a couple times? And the ability to be on a year-round for Rodney provides him some flexibility to say, you're not on the more traditional administrative calendar to where my days are off during the summer. Our summers, as you can see, are pretty busy. This allows for that flexibility for those leave days to be taken when Rodney needs to take them. So that's the 2 key things it does: increase the days and allows for that flexibility throughout the school year for his leave days.
Yeah, we know how lucky we are with Rodney being on there. We want to put a document down to make him feel comfortable and to show that we appreciate his job. So everybody get a chance to look at it. I know how to snafu sending it the first time. Any questions or motion?
With that said, I'll make a motion to approve the assistant superintendent's contract.
Joni with the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Second by Heather. All those in favor? 5 vote. Moving on to item F, approval of a la carte pricing for the upcoming school year.
Yeah, if you recall, last month, we were required to do our lunch accounts, our breakfast and lunch, and we recommended no increase to our lunch accounts student lunch and staff lunch. This is a la carte, the extra. We are asking for an increase. It's a small increase to each item. The increase varies. There's a couple reasons, but one, the biggest reason is the cost of those items have gone up more than the typical lunch that the students would have. And we also need to make sure that that the dollars that account goes into, we maintain a positive balance. So we have a great balance in that account. Those dollars go to maintain anything in our cafeterias. So we have done some upgrades recently and just need to make sure that stays at the appropriate level.
Board Member Scott's wallet fears the Uncrustables and Nutri-Grain bars. For the record, I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions or motion?
Begrudgingly, I will make a motion to approve the overcharge pricing.
Noted begrudgingly, motion to approve, Nathan Scott.
I'll second.
Second by Joni. All those in favor? 5-0. Then we have item G, approval to dispose of old furniture.
Yeah, whenever we are done with the life of our certain, we're replacing furniture, we do dispose, and that term has different meanings at different times. So we do look to donate furniture, give it to people that ask for it. There's some that are just in disrepair that we do have to discard. So disposal doesn't always mean throw away, but we have to take it off of our accounts in order to be able to donate that or give that to someone.
Yeah, and with that option too,
Yeah.
if someone would
Yeah.
like to have
Somebody
those
requested
items.
one of the desks, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we're happy to do. So.
All right, any further discussion? Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the list of items to dispose.
Zach with the motion to approve the disposal.
Second.
Second by Nathan. All in favor? 5-0. Next on H is approval of literacy retreat for elementary teachers.
And it's just a unique opportunity for our teachers. It's just really approving the day. We don't always ask for this, but this does come with the cost of renting a venue. We do pay the cost, but the cost actually came from a grant from the United Way. So we're not using our funds, we're using grant funds to pay for this day, but still thought it appropriate to get approval.
I make a motion to approve the literacy retreat for elementary teachers.
Joni with the motion to approve literacy retreat.
I'll second.
Second by Zach. All those in favor? 5-0. And then we're appointing Brenda Kearns to Rochdale Library Board.
Just recommend approval. on that
Just
one.
recommend
Yep.
approval. Yeah, nothing, no discussion really.
I know she enjoys it and she
Yeah.
does a great job, so. I make a motion to appoint Brenda Kearns to the Rochelle Library Board.
Joni with the motion to approve Brenda Kearns. I'll second. All those in favor? 5-0. And then likewise, an appointment of Dakota Lanham to the Putnam County Library Board.
I'll make a motion to appoint Dakota Lanham to the Putnam County Library Board.
So,
Second.
motion by Zach, second by Nathan. All those in favor? 5-0. And then we have item K, the bus driver retention stipend.
Yeah, this is, if you recall, we added this last year to our bus driver compensation. The way we worded it last year, it needed to be renewed each year. The way we're wording this year, it's now, it doesn't need to be, so it'll be continual. So we're a little bit behind in getting this to our bus drivers, but appreciate Tanya catching the fact that we do need to make sure that the wording is correct so that it gets approved appropriately this year.
Is this common?
Yeah, I mean, there's different amounts for different schools. Different districts give different levels of stipends. A couple of years ago, we were probably behind the curve in what we compensated our bus drivers. If they're going to move on, we'd prefer it be done during the summer instead of during the year. So we want to give some incentive for them to stick it out through the year. So.
Yep.
Why just the bus drivers? Why not just go ahead and do it across the board with all non-certified staff? Because to me, all non-certified staff, we kind of want to keep them. We want to retain all of them.
Yeah, no doubt. When we started going through this process, we really started the process a little over a year and a half ago. The category of employee that was the most behind the curve when we compared it to surrounding districts was our bus drivers. We can look, Heather, at other categories as well. We've looked at teachers, we've looked at administrators, and I think it's appropriate to look at all categories. So I don't disagree. We can start that process. Tanny and I can work on that. And if we think that we're off on what our other non-certified employees are getting, whether that's their hourly rate or if other districts are doing something similar to what we're doing for bus drivers, we can certainly look at that as well. So we'll start that process.
I do know that when we looked at the raising the rates for the bus drivers, it was substantial.
It was.
Very substantial.
Yeah.
I feel that they are really well compensated now. So I either would like to see this tabled until we can come back and then give it across the board, or see if we can go ahead and make a motion to include all non-certs that are only employed by North Putnam. That would not include our cafeteria or our custodians. So I don't know how we could do that. I mean, Dan, do you have a suggestion?
This is something that we committed to the bus drivers last year. So I think it would be appropriate to approve what we committed to them and not hold it up any longer, but then certainly do the work that you're asking. I totally agree that if we're off on something, this is pretty common that bus drivers in other districts get some level of stipend. And to your point, we want to make sure that we keep all of our employees and non-certified in each category, North Putnam specifically. I would prefer to move on with what we have presented this evening, give the board the information for the other non-certified categories, and make an appropriate recommendation, whether that's August and or September. You know, it shouldn't take us long to get that information.
And do a split like this.
If that's appropriate.
Yeah, because I don't think it's fair to give them all 500 at once.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be better to split it.
I feel much the same as Dustin in that I don't need data, whether we're behind or not behind, to go on. You know, Tammy's going to be able to produce that pretty fast where we stand in regards to other school corporations and or the state standard.
The draft shortage.
I feel that we are, but again, I have a little bit more information just because I've been in the school a little bit more. So, but yeah, that's fine if you guys want to do that. But yeah, I know where I stand right now.
Yeah.
So I'd like a motion to approve the bus driver's retention stipend as committed last year.
Second.
Made with a motion to proceed with the approval of the stipend, joining with a second. We have any further discussion? So all in favor? 4?
Abstain.
Abstain.
I will start putting in weekly notes where we're at with each category and how we compare to other districts, you know, to make sure, because again, like this was driven by a shortage and compared to what we did with other districts, so we'll have good information to look at as we make a future decision.
Thank you. Moving on to the protect category, item A, approval of student handbooks for Bainbridge and Rochdale Elementaries.
Yeah, very minor changes, and the main change was just some tweaks to attendance, similar to the high school and middle school. Really, our goal here is to make sure that we're informing parents, and then sometimes it's just informing, like, hey, we just need to know, we need some communication, so to make sure that we're helping support with that. And then there are times where, we need to sit down with families and provide supports to make sure that we're doing what we need to and keep everybody moving forward in a positive way. So that's the main change for the elementary handbooks. We've already approved the middle school and high school.
With Senate Bill 1, I can't recall, did the bullying and so forth change for the elementary level also? The bullying reporting changes that came to middle school and high school?
Yeah, just the timing.
Just that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't remember if it affected these two, I assume so. Okay.
Any further questions? Need a motion?
I make a motion to approve the student handbooks at Roachdale and Bay Ridge.
Joni with the motion of approval of the handbooks as presented.
I'll second.
Second by Zach. All those in favor? 5-0. Next, moving on to the approval of the Cougar Cub Developmental Preschool Handbook.
Recommend for approval.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Recommend for approval, yeah. Any questions on that? Looked like similar to last year.
Yeah.
Were there any changes? I don't think so.
Yeah, pretty good.
I'll make a motion, we approve it as presented. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Nathan. All those in favor? 5-0. And next we'll move on to approval of support personnel handbook.
Yeah, again, not a lot of changes. A couple, that do stand out is just making note that there is a mandatory lunch break. We don't work through that. Everybody will takes their lunch break. And then the second thing that we noted is that leave days are used before we go to deduct days. So it just helps keep everything organized. So we wanted to make sure both of those things were in the student handbook, and those will be communicated before the school year starts and then early on the school year starts as well.
Any questions or discussion? Motion to approve? Or motion?
I make a motion to approve the support personnel handbook.
Joni with the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Seconded by Zach. All those in favor? 5. Then moving down to preliminary determination hearing. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
I was trying to look real quick on
Yeah.
moving my finger on the mouse.
I do have it.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is the preliminary hearing on the proposed project. If you're interested in speaking at the hearing, please make sure you have signed the sign-in sheet, which we can get done. It should include your name and address. After a presentation by the administration and its advisors, there will be an opportunity for the public to make comments about the project. At the hearing, we will ask that each person limit their comments to 3 minutes and that the topic be limited to the proposed project under consideration. The notice of this preliminary determination hearing was published as legally required. At this time, I ask Dr. LeMay or Dan Taylor to explain the purpose of this hearing.
Thank you. So this last meeting, you had your project hearing, the first step of the process, which is required. This is the first of 2 preliminary determination hearings where you will be determining the appropriateness of the project, the necessity of the project, and then the financial impacts of the project. You'll hear more about the financial impacts in just a moment, and you have a packet in front of you. So you'll have this hearing tonight and hear from the public. You'll take no action tonight at the end of that public hearing. When you come back on August 21st, you will also have another public hearing, hear the same financial information, And then you'll make a determination on two resolutions. One will be the determination resolution about the appropriateness and need of the project. And then secondly, you will adopt a reimbursement resolution, which you usually do when you issue bonds, to simply say that when you issue bonds down the road, if you incur costs prior to the issuance of the bonds that are related to the project, the bond proceeds can be used to reimburse the school corporation for the expenses that you've had leading up to that. So the purpose tonight is really to have a brief introduction for the benefit of the public about the project and the financial impact, and then listen to any comments made by the public meeting. And that'll be all for tonight. And then in August, you'll actually adopt those two resolutions if you're so inclined.
Thank you. We will now hear from Luke from Stiefel about the process of determining and communicating the project to the community and the need.
Good evening, Luke Brugman with Stiefel. It's good to see everyone again. We serve as bond underwriter for the school corporation. Have a couple slides here set forth in front of you. I think these should look fairly familiar based on some of the prior bond issues that we've done in the past. As Mr. Taylor mentioned, this is just the first of two public hearings, no actions being taken. We're simply here to get any community feedback. There will be some numbers on the back, or the last page that shows the maximum parameters. They will be just that, maximum parameters. We can only come down from those numbers, but once they're set, we cannot increase above them. So if you flip to the first page, the first thing we always start with is the school corporation's outstanding debt payments. You'll see from 25 to 26, there's a drop in payments. Again, from 27 to 28, and so on and so forth, as some prior debt continues to retire. If you flip to the next page, this is the current debt service levy, and really this is the property tax levy for the debt service fund, or you're asking a dollar amount of the community. And you'll see that it mimics really what those debt payments were on the prior page, factors in some cash on hand and miscellaneous revenue. But again, you'll see that same footprint of the levy falling off in 26, again in 28, so on and so forth. On the next slide here, you'll see in blue on top of the gray bar is the already approved 2025 bonds of $5,945,000. Our expectation is to sell those bonds this fall. They have not been sold yet, so it did not include in the current debt service levy. But again, you'll see that the goal is to maintain at or below the 2025 level while leaving capacity for some future projects.
Just as a reminder that bond issuance is for the Roachdale HVAC project.
And then on this next page here in green would be for the proposed $12.5 million authorization of the bonds that were issued in 2027. It would hit the levy beginning in 2028. You'll notice on this graph again that we're staying at or below the current debt service levels. This project could be issued at one time or in multiple series, depending on how and when you need the funds. Again, want to keep that same mindset that's got us here, that we're staying at or below those levels, but also keeping some capacity in the future open for North Putnam schools if needs do arise. On the last slide here, these are the maximum parameters. Again, no actions being taken, but at the August 21st meeting, there will be a resolution that is set forth in front of you that will contain the information that's on this last page. So that would be a total borrowing amount of $12.5 million, total professional fees, cost of issuance of $500,000. We set that to be conservative in case there are multiple issuances, leaving the school corporation with $12 million for hard and soft project costs. Estimated interest rates today would be around 4.25%. We have an estimated interest rate range of 2 to 6%. Estimated term of the bonds would be 20 years. That's a maximum that can always be shortened up as well once we get to the point of actually issuing the bonds. Estimated total interest cost of $7,440,000 with a maximum annual payment that you can make on this project at any given year of $3,250,000. If you simply divide that by the school corporation's net assessed value, you get a maximum tax rate impact of 30.3904. That does not factor in any of the debt that's falling off that was shown on some of the prior pages. When you factor that in, there's no increase over the 2025 levy, and that's what's on that last row there. A couple of the ratios down the bottom again that you'll see in the resolution in the August 21st meeting, which is the school corporation's max annual payments as a percentage of your net assessed value, which is 0.77%. And then the direct and overlapping debt as a percentage of your net assessed value is 8.5%. Really, that's just looking at all of the other municipalities' property tax back debt as well, on top of the schools and divided by your net assessed value. So that's factoring in city, town, county, library, township, any property tax debt that they have divided by your net assessed value. So that's all I have. Happy to answer any questions from the board or administration.
I just want to highlight something that Luke said that I think is very important, that we don't have to issue any of this debt.
Correct.
And we don't, and it's important, we don't have to issue it all at one time. It's very different from, hey, we've had a designated project. This is a little bit different, and I'll go into the detail in just a little bit of what those dollars could be spent on. But those two things are important to this issuance of this project.
And just to tag on the end of that, for the record, we're maintaining both debt neutrality and budget neutrality for the foreseeable future as far as planning purposes. If this gets issued, it kind of dovetails in with debt that's falling off to maintain current debt service levels and or possibly, hopefully, decrease those down below 0.7.
Yeah,
that's
the goal.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
Any further questions? Thank you, Luke. We will now open the public hearing. If you would like to speak, please sign in on the sheet which is located up here. We would need your name and address and limiting your comments to the project. All right. Well, thank you. We're not taking any legal action this evening, so this hearing was just solely based to hear public comment. The board will continue to work with administration and its professionals to look for efficiencies and conserve tax dollars on our educational needs. So we will have another public hearing on August 21st at 7, approximately 7. All right. We'll move on to superintendent report.
Yeah, thank you. One, I just want to thank the board and really our community for just their thoughts and prayers and their patience. It's been a difficult month. So just really appreciate that. That sense of family means a lot to all of us. I want to give a special shout out to our 5-star team. Jamie's here, getting us set up for our first live stream. Patty's been a big help, and 5-star does so much on the technology side for us. I have a lot of questions for them too. We meet once a month, so big help, and just want to give them a shout out. I also, again, want to reiterate, the thanks for addressing Rodney's contract. Again, he's such a valuable employee, just a great person, would do anything for this district and the people that work here and live here. So it means a lot, so thank you.
Yeah. Of course, we can't get a report from Rodney since he's away.
He's on a well-deserved break.
But we'll move on to business manager.
We don't have anything.
Nothing on the first live stream? Okay, well, we'll have board comments, and we're gonna start with Nathan.
I'm looking forward to starting to see some of the projects around the corporation reach completion. Some of those are obviously still in motion. Again, echo comments about Candace's service to the corporation and the type of person that she was and that her family continues to be. Fantastic group of people. And I appreciate the moment of silence at the beginning. Thanks to everybody for coming to the meeting, and obviously we're appreciating the help on the live stream. I don't know, I'll speak for everybody here, but I can't run that kind of a thing. Manual vehicle, yes, but not that. So But thank you for everyone for coming.
Tony?
Yeah, it's an exciting time just to drive by school and see what's going on everywhere. Exciting that school is preparing to start and everybody's getting excited about that. So hopefully we get a lot of things wrapped up
Yep.
and ready to go.
Got some work to do still, so.
And again, all our thoughts and prayers for the Wireman family.
Thank you. Heather?
Yes, my thoughts with Candace's family. Thank you to April and Tanya for jumping in and doing what they needed to do in her absence, and continued prayers for them as well.
Zach?
Yeah, many prayers to the Weimer family for their loss. I want to say that the semi looks great out front.
Pretty sharp.
Yeah, it looks really good. I saw it in the back a while back, and you could tell it had a little bit of age on it, but that brightened it up real nice.
It pops, yeah.
It looks good, especially with the activity buses out there too. So hopefully that gets on the road and we can get some good feedback from the community. So props to everybody who helped get that done. And the field looks great.
Yeah, coming along.
Yeah, saw an aerial picture of it the other day and it looked really good. Saw the field goals were going up, so projects are coming along to kind of follow on Nathan's point. But that's all I got.
Thanks.
Yeah, I echo all of that. For the Wireman family, many prayers at this time. And speaking of community or voices, I've heard a lot of people that I hadn't heard from in years noticing that we're moving things forward. And the semi has gotten a huge pop in the last few days.
Certainly
And
did.
really caught attention of people. So just kudos for getting that program going. And thank you to those that attended this first ever live stream at the North Putnam School Board. And with that, you can.
I just want to thank Luke for coming, and Stiefel, their good work. When I inspected some of your projects tonight, football field, the construction of the, whatever Ron wants to call it, the field house or whatever he wants to call it. And you've had a lot of changes over the last 5 years, and your facility is so exciting. And Luke and his team at Stiefel are the guys who kind of work behind the scenes to help us with financial structure and then getting those bonds to market and getting us a good deal. And so we don't have much of an opportunity when all that happens to thank them. But Luke, we appreciate you coming out, and we appreciate you helping us with these bonds. It's kind of a heavy lift, but it's all done very quietly. We appreciate everything you do for us.
Appreciate working with you guys.
Well, anybody? You're welcome.
I make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn by Joni,
Second?
second by Heather. All those in favor? 5-0. Thank you.
Good, that was fantastic.